Well, welcome to Real Truth Real Quick, and the first ever episode where we have a guest with us. Welcome, Greg Koukl.
Hey, Todd.
He's been with us today, and we're going to film a few, and so I get to play this role, where I usually get to play that role. We're going to dive right in, and you're going to hear from Greg. What I thought I would do, Greg, is you've written a number of books, and I thought we'd film a couple of these today, focusing first on some books you've written.
Sure.
And so you wrote a book on the whole issue of abortion. We have a question that goes a little bit with one of the books, Precious Unborn Human Persons.
Right.
And so the question is, how can I wade into, in a loving, winsome way, if you will, this very controversial issue that is abortion?
Right. Well, it is controversial, Todd. It doesn't mean it's complicated. And see, a lot of people want to take the controversy and imply from the controversy that this is so complex. And so I try to simplify the issue to help people see what really is the question we need to answer by giving an illustration. So let's just say, Todd, that you were working at your bench or the sink or something like that, and one of your children came up when they were younger, because I know you got older kids now, and you hear this question. And the question is, Daddy, can I kill this? Now, you can't see your child. What is the question that you must have answered first before you can answer the question?
What is this that you want to kill?
Yeah, it's a spider, smash it, If it's your brother's puppy, wait a minute, slow down. If it's a kid down the street, that you're mad at, we got to have a conversation. Now, this little illustration demonstrates something that we all know to be true, and that is before you can know whether it's right or wrong to take the life of something, you need to know what that thing is, okay? Now, abortion kills something. I mean, this is the point. People say, well, nobody knows when life begins. Oh, that's simply not true. It's growing, right? So it's alive. So the fact that it's growing is the problem. So we know that there's something living inside of mom that's creating a problem. Can I kill this? It depends on the answer to a different question. What is it? And here, let me put it fairly simply. If the unborn is not a human being, then no justification for abortion is even necessary.
Right.
I mean, if it's just a piece of tissue, you don't have to talk about privacy and choice and liberty and financial hardship or any of those things. Just have the abortion.
Yep.
However, if the unborn is a human being, then no justification for abortion is adequate. And the reason is we do not kill innocent, defenseless human beings for the reasons that people give for abortions, because they're in the way, because they're inconvenient, because they're costly, because I have a right to privacy, because I can do what I want with my own body.
Because they had a tragic beginning.
Yeah, and that would be another one.
Yeah.
So do we kill children because they remind us of a bad experience like rape? And I'm not trying to give the soft sell to that incredible bad experience that people have, the tragedy of a rape. But the question is, do we want to complicate the crime of rape with taking the life of an innocent child? Is that the right way to deal with it? And so our question is then, what is the unborn? What is the unborn? And this is a question that's almost never addressed, because when people talk about abortion, they talk about all the other things that are really unrelated to the core issue. Now, to answer that question is really simple. We know the unborn's alive. We know it's growing. We know the unborn is not the mother. That is, the tissue that's growing is not mom. Right. How do we know that? Because we know from watching TV, DNA tells us that this particular thing, whatever it is, for the sake of our discussion, has a different DNA fingerprint than the mother. Okay, CSI, we all know about that. That's a different DNA. Something else is in there. Well, what kind of thing is it? I'll tell you what kind of thing is it. It isn't a puppy. It isn't a kitten. It isn't a guppy. It's another creature just like mom being produced by mom in her womb. Creatures reproduce according to their own kind. Therefore, the thing that is growing, and we also know this from the DNA, that's a human being, another human being growing there. It's a living, separate, individual human being. Now, some people say, well, it doesn't look human. And my response is, that looks exactly like all human beings look at that stage of development. And so much more can be said about this. But the key issue, the simplifying issue is, what is the unborn? Once we discover what the unborn is, then that's a scientific question. Then we ask the moral question, what is the right way to deal with human beings that are in our care and in the way and causing difficulty? Is taking their life the right solution? And I think that becomes a much easier question to answer once you've laid that.
And a lot less controversial, because largely today we still have people that say we need to value human life. Although the utilitarian argument is if that human life is invaluable to me, then I should get rid of it, whether it's aged, disabled in some way, or maybe small.
Yeah, or have a congenital defect. But once you start going that route, that becomes a real dangerous, slippery slope when a whole lot more people are going to be vulnerable than that little child using those rules.
I love your answer. And it does explain it like you did very easily. It's not, maybe it's controversial, but it's not complicated.
I don't think it is.
Greg Koukl, Precious Unborn Human Persons is the book. It's not long. It's worth your read. Thank you for joining us on this issue of Real Truth Real Quick.
Great to talk to you.